What's going on, boys and girls? I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I'm back again with the professional YouTube setup as always, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience working as a bin man during this whole pandemic for 2 weeks. But just before I get into that, I would really appreciate if you guys could leave a like on the video and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I'm dropping so many videos in a moment, and just make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss any. So yeah, if you guys haven't watched any of my previous videos, you actually know I was working as a bin man for the last 2 weeks, and though this isn't my normal job, I'll quickly explain how it kind of ended up happening. Pretty much, long story short, I work at a leisure centre which is owned by the council. Obviously all leisure centres are closed at the moment, so they just redeployed us into different areas of the council. So yeah, that led to me helping out there for about 2 weeks, and I'm pretty much going to explain to you guys everything I feel like I learned or took value from during the experience. Even though you might say, oh, how could you get any value from doing a job like that? I believe any experience you do, any new experience creates opportunity, and you can take anything from any sort of experience you do, and it's important to do that. First of all, I'm not gonna slag off anyone that is a bin man. I'm not sure any of you watching this video are, but if anyone is or know anyone that is, full props to anyone that can do it. It is very difficult. I know it seems like it's such a shitty job and like it doesn't require any effort at all or any skills. It is very difficult and very physically demanding. I used this concept in my last video, I think it was. Imagine putting a 25 kilo plate from the gym in a big bag and then picking it up about a 5 foot height, pouring it over into a truck, but doing that about 300 times a day. That's kind of what you're talking about, then doing that 5 days a week, every week. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing it repetitively over and over again, it gets very physically demanding. So it's not just a job that anyone could do. I thought it was going to be an absolute piece of piss walking into it, because obviously I've been training for the last 4 years. I like to consider myself quite a fit and strong person compared to your average non-gym goer. But like I said, it is very physically demanding, so it's not to be taken lightly at all. Yeah, also before I get into these points, I realise it's probably going to sound like I'm being quite negative about the situation, and I think it's just because I had quite a negative experience with the whole thing. Unfortunately, I wasn't really paired up with someone that I got on with or saw eye to eye. We've had very different views on things, and he made it very difficult for me to kind of help him, and we just didn't cooperate very well at all. But I think these are also just some kind of important life tips you can use for yourselves as well. So without further ado, the very first thing I learned, which is probably the most obvious one, is follow your passion. You really don't want to get stuck doing something you don't want to do in life. You don't want to make your job feel like it has to be a job. Your job should be something you get up every day and something you enjoy doing. I realise there are some things in life, you know, you just have to do to get to a certain point. And I know some people have different circumstances like family and children, etc. But ultimately, you want your job to be something you wake up in the morning, you do, and that you feel excited for. You know, you don't want to be getting up and doing something you're not enthusiastic about, something that you don't really care for. I shouldn't really have to talk about this one too much because I feel like it's quite obvious, but just if there's anything out there that you really want to do, like for me, this is YouTube, this is what I want to do. Like I'm very passionate about it, and it's something I've always enjoyed doing, and only recently I've really plucked up the courage to go at it full steam ahead and really try my absolute best at it. So exactly, it might not work out, it might not go anywhere at all, but at least I know I've tried and given it 100%, and I'd rather do that than, you know, get to the end of my life and be like, fuck, I wish I just did that and gave it a go, because I don't want to regret anything. So if you have a passion in life, just make sure you don't give up on it and give it 100% of your effort regardless of the outcome. So yeah, the second thing I learned was be selfish. So there's a saying, and I think it goes, treat people how you expect to be treated, and that's how they'll treat you back. That saying just isn't true at all, and I think I kind of learned this through other experiences as well as just doing this. But people don't owe you anything. Just let that settle into your mind real quick. People do not owe you anything. They don't care about you. They really don't, unless obviously it's a close friend or someone you know, family member, whatever. Obviously, hopefully they should care about you, but people who just you pass every day on the street, they don't give a shit about you. They don't care about what they say to you. Like ultimately they don't. Some people might do, but most people just don't. It's just how it is. So I think it's important just to realise that, and just not to get too emotionally attached to what people think. I think that's a big thing we do as humans. We get very emotionally attached to what people think about us. I think it's very easy just to let what people say about you and how people judge you get to you, and I know it's kind of easier said than done, but I think it's important just to realise that ultimately their opinion does not matter at all, and they really don't actually care about you. So what I'm trying to get at with this point is just sometimes you just do need to put yourself first. You need to be selfish. You need to do what's best for you, because no one's going to do it for you. And the last point I wanted to talk to you guys about is don't be afraid to be a beginner at something, because if you think about it, everybody started from somewhere, and it's very easy to forget about the process people went through. If you look at like massive like social influences nowadays, like Mr. Beast for example. When you think of Mr. Beast, you just think of like, oh, 30, 40 million subscribers, whatever he has. You don't think about him at 100, 1,000, 10,000 subscribers. You think of him as being this huge person, this huge influence on people, but you forget that he started from the same position as everyone else. Don't be afraid to be a beginner. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because everyone started from the same point as you. Everyone started having absolutely zero knowledge in what you want to do. Just think about that real quick. That's why I strongly believe that anyone can do anything if they really want to, because we all start from the exact same point. No one was born specially designed to do something that someone else can't do. I know some of you might argue, oh, genetics and physical demand in terms of like sporting and stuff, and I guess yeah, it's a bit different, but I'm kind of more on about, you know, mental attributes. Like in terms of knowledge, you have the exact capability of anyone else to gain the exact amount of knowledge. And it's just about how much work you're willing to put in. So, you know, don't be afraid to be a beginner at whatever it is in life, whether you're trying to learn a new skill or develop a hobby, whatever it is. Just ask questions and just remember, everyone started from the same position as you, and it's just about how much work you're willing to put in to get there.
To get more felony charges. He's already got life in jail, man. What the hell is his problem? Well, to be honest, the smell of these chronic leaves make me hella demonic. They compelled me to kill this elderly man, and I get these panic attacks. Papa Xanax, relax.